And now 65. It's a record for this day in history. So that's how warm it is. Rain all day. Couple things from Erin. First of all, she's right, John. We both do love our soap opera. Second of all, with all that being said, if the Cowboys win today and next week, they're in the playoffs. So with all that being said, they still control their playoff destiny. That's the most important thing. Redskins won the toss. They will receive. Bailey kicks it off to Nick Williams, former UConn star. Sprints up to the 20 and then wrestles his way out to the 24, and that's where Washington will have their first possession, led by Kirk Cousins. Back-to-back starts for him.
And Kirk Cousins, he can sling it. This guy can get back there. He can read out a defense, go through his progression, and distribute the ball. 9 players caught passes from Kirk Cousins in the loss to Atlanta last week. They're very excited about Kirk Cousins and what he brings to the table.
Now the Redskins will start it off. Alfred Morris in the eye. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for their former 6th-round draft pick. And they'll fake it to Morris. A lot of time for Cousins, and slips through the hands of Morris. And it has been pouring all day here. The field is wet. That'll be an issue. John, this is the thing with the Redskins. If you look at some of the similarities from last year, here's the thing. They didn't turn it over last year. This year, more than double.
Well, we talk about it seemingly every week. It's all about the ball. That's what Pete Carroll says in Seattle. Mike Shanahan went so far. We talked about the confidence of this team going into today. If we protect it, we will win. Mike Shanahan said that. The key is going to be, can they protect it?
180!
2nd and 10, and the give to Morris, and Morris is going to lose yardage there. Cowboys played it well, led by George Selvey, who's had a career year for them out on the ends. Played that play pretty well, John, but this year defensively, it's been a nightmare for the Cowboys.
Well, it really has. You know, I think a number of things have affected this defense. Monty Kiffin comes in, runs the 4-3 system. They have 3-4 personnel. Injuries have plagued them all season long, but as we've said over and over again, they control their destiny. Can they put together 2 good weeks of defense and get there to the playoffs?
Roy Halou in the backfield now on a 3rd and 10, and there's some movement on the left side.
False start, illegal snap, number 63. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Trent Williams lined up against DeMarcus Ware, and the Cowboys looking for a big effort for him today.
They really are. You see the illegal snap that Bill Levy alluded to, and DeMarcus Ware, quick trigger to get off the ball. DeMarcus Ware, you've got that feeling. Visiting with them last night. He's ready to play a big game. He's been one of those players, the great players that hasn't delivered. He's been injured throughout the season, nagging injuries. He feels healthy. We'll see if he can come up big when they need him most.
Moves it back to a 3rd and 16. Set it up to Halou on the screen, who slips down, and the Redskins will go 3 and out on their opening possession. That brings Sav Rocca out. And newly signed Michael Spurlock, brought in this week because of the injury to Dwayne Harris. And the first time these 2 teams met, John, back in week 6, special teams won the game for Dallas. Harris had 222 return yards by himself, including a touchdown on a punt. Here's Spurlock's first chance as a Cowboy. Makes the first man miss, and the second. It's Spurlock with room. Michael Spurlock, first touch as a Cowboy, and he's inside the 5. Welcome to Dallas, Michael Spurlock.
And what a terrific block right at the point by Danny McCray, and then Spurlock. He's been doing this for a long time. He goes to work, just signed, but finds the creases in this Washington Redskins special team that has been awful all season long. Kevin, you alluded to the fact it was the difference in week 6 when the Cowboys beat the Redskins. Different returners, same result.
Again, they had 222 return yards in that week 6 Cowboy win, and on that punt return, it's 45 for Spurlock. And on the Cowboys' first possession, they're set up. That's Keith Burns, not thrilled with that result, and a 1st and goal for the Cowboys. Tony Romo's got DeMarco Murray back there with him. They fake it to him, and throwing for the end zone, incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams, but Josh Wilson on the coverage.
Tony Romo puts it on the money to Terrence Williams. Josh Wilson does a tremendous job of finishing the play, getting that hand in there. There's the matchup outside. Going to go on the slant. Looks like a touchdown, but the finish by Wilson gets the ball out. See the double on Des Bryant.
It's Miles Austin in motion. And this time they give it to Murray, breaking through, and Murray is going to get in for the touchdown. And the Cowboys, after the big return from Michael Spurlock, get the touchdown run from Murray, his 9th of the year, to take a 6-0 lead.
The Cowboys load up on that left side of the line, and DeMarco Murray, who's been hot of late, when they give it to him, does the rest. Hard running by DeMarco Murray.
So that was quick for the Cowboys. Again, special teams coming into play. Just a 2-play, 3-yard drive on the run by Murray.
And watch this run, and Jarvis Jones, he's going to pop free. He's got an opportunity to make the tackle, but this is what DeMarco Murray does. He's a strong runner. Continues to keep those legs churning. Senses that end zone's right there. Outstanding run by DeMarco Murray.
Now Bailey's extra point is up and good. And just like that, with 12:49 to go in this first quarter, it's the Cowboys 7, Redskins nothing. Tony Romo happy in this must-have game for Dallas.
This game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Well, special teams have been atrocious for the Redskins all year long. Dallas killed them on it their first matchup of the year, and then with Dwayne Harris hurt, John, they go out and sign Michael Spurlock, an accomplished returner off the street, and he returns 162 yards to set up the Cowboys' first touchdown of the day. This is Nick Williams, who will take it out from 4 yards deep. And Williams, a nifty little return to get across to 25.
You want to know how you get a long return? Look at the effort. Danny McCray with the first key block. Great effort to get his hands in front. And then Jeff Heath on Dowdy right there. That's the key block. Spurlock does the rest. Outstanding work by Rich Bisaccia, the new special teams coordinator in Dallas's unit.
Well, when you look at this year, as there's a Redskin player down, they're tending to Nick Barnett, the former Packer right now. Here's Washington and Washington, right? D.C., the nation's capital, to Seattle, Washington. A lot of miles separating the cities. We did the Seattle Giant game last week, John. Their punt coverage team's the best in the NFL, maybe historically the best. The Redskins, as far as they are across the country, that's as far as they are apart in that category.
And almost the 4th touchdown there. There's Keith Burns. He's an old teammate of mine, was an outstanding special teams player. I really feel he's a good coach. I think the biggest thing about this special teams unit, the cap hit this team took, the cap penalty that they've taken, it hurts them most on special teams.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, they check on Nick Barnett. We'll take a break. Cowboys 7-0 over Washington early.
This game is sponsored by Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Rainy conditions in our nation's capital today. Wish you a happy holidays. Along with John Lynch and Aaron Andrews, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Big game in the NFC East. Redskins trying to play spoiler. The Cowboys control their playoff destiny, and the special teams a big factor for Dallas against Washington this year. Right, the Spurlock just signed an accomplished return of 5 career return touchdowns, almost brought another one to the house, and now it's Kirk Cousins on the second series for him, who fires one over the middle and somehow got through to Pierre Garçon, who's all the way up to the 43-yard line, a 17-yard gain on a Redskin first down.
One thing about Kirk Cousins, he doesn't lack confidence. He gets back there and he lets it rip. That ball in a very small window to Pierre Garçon, a ton of confidence in him. And that's what Kirk Cousins plays with. For a guy who's played as little NFL football as he has, he's got tremendous confidence to his game.
How about that? Garçon having a career year, second in the league in catches, and could break the all-time Redskin record held by Art Monk. Now that is some company. Here's Morris, and a good cut upfield and a good run as Morris is going to pick up 5 out to the 48-yard line. Yeah, Cousins is not doesn't look like an NFL quarterback, John, but you see him and you're like, man, he really can throw it.
Well, he can throw it, and then he acts like an NFL quarterback. The great ones, we get a chance to sit down with them every week. Peyton Mannings of the world, the Drew Brees, they all act a certain way. They're anal about details, and that's Kirk Cousins. He's a type A personality. He's going to be prepared. He's going to get it to the right receiver. Sometimes he will make some mistakes because he does have so much confidence in that arm of his.
That's Garcon in motion. It's a 2nd and 5. And it's Morris who patiently looks for a hole and gets to midfield before he's taken down there by DeMarcus Ware and Nick Hayden. Gain of 2. And a 3rd and short. This Cowboys defense trying to hold it together today.
Watch DeMarcus Ware. Excuse me, he came right up the middle, but you see the burst right there from DeMarcus Ware that you like to see, and that's what he discussing with him this week, this season. He said the quick twitch, John, it's back, and that's what he thrives on. That's where he beats people. The get off, the quickness. There's Sean Lee, the outstanding middle linebacker. Been hampered by that neck.
Yeah, say trying to hold it together. They're having a historically bad year, and with that guy out, it's a challenge. 3rd down and short for Cousins. Over the middle, 1st down. It's Garcon again, making a big impact on this drive, and the Redskins move the chains.
Cousins does a really nice job here of taking what the Cowboys give him. Only a 3-man rush. They're going to drop in coverage. And that's DeMarcus Ware who makes the tackle. DeMarcus Ware dropped in coverage. Sometimes you need to do that. I'd be rushing him. I'd let him go after Kirk Cousins.
Cousins using that vision pretty well. Logan Paulson in motion. They get a fake reverse. Cousins with all kinds of time. Can't find anyone open, though. Now comes the pressure, and he very alertly throws it away. Good coverage, Dallas secondary there. Didn't see anybody open.
Really good coverage by the Dallas secondary. Cousins is a guy that will go through his progression. He went through about 4 of them right there, and just tight coverage throughout the secondary of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the 3rd NFL start for Cousins. Remember, he came in relief of Robert Griffin III last year when he got hurt and won that big game in Cleveland. Then last week, a loss by a point in Atlanta. This is his first home start today. On 2nd and 10, pressure from Selby. Cousins unloads, incomplete. He got hit just before he let it fly. And a 3rd and 10 coming up. He's looking for Robinson over the middle.
You talk about get off. Selby, George Selby going to come off. They've got Logan Paulson responsible. He just beats him with his get off. Gets right up in Kirk Cousins' face and affects that throw. Hits the arm. The ball sails. Kirk Cousins very fortunate it wasn't picked. That's what you talk about. That's what Rod Marinelli, the defensive line coach for the Cowboys, teaches. Get off. Get off the ball and pressure the quarterback.
First quarter, Redskins have been behind so much. They were down 14-0 before you could blink last week. That's the most points allowed in the first in the league. Play clock at 2. They've got to hurry. Cousins gets it off. Blitz coming. Back to throw. Incomplete. And maybe intercepted by Barry Church. They say no. Incomplete. That one hit the ground. He was looking for Garcon, but heavy pressure.
There's Kyle Shanahan upset about something, but Monty Kiffin dialing up the pressure early, and this defense that has been so bad and was so bad last week has actually looked very good thus far today in 2 series.
Here's Rocca, who's had a tough year punting, and this one gets a good Redskin bounce. A big break. Big break, and all the way rolling back down at the 2. So the Cowboys have started off at the shadow of their own end loan. They're up 7-zip in the first.
This game on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Well, during the holiday season, if this doesn't make you get emotional, I don't know what does. AD3 Jerron Hunter of the U.S. Navy. They had his parents here to honor him. They had a tape message from Hunter to show on the board, "We miss you," and then he comes out and they're reunited. I mean,
it's a great move by Dan Snyder and the Washington Redskins. That never gets old, Kevin. We're seeing these more and more, and what a treat for Christmas for that family.
We're in the first quarter here. Landover, Maryland, and it's the Cowboys 7, Redskins nothing. So Dallas started their first possession on the Redskin 3, now backed up on their own 2. And try and get a little breathing room to Murray, but Dowdy and a couple of others there, and Murby gets maybe a yard. Didn't get a chance to really introduce Tony Romo because of the big Spurlock punt return, but here he comes, here's the thing, John. We know he's had a real good career, but this is the time that's been his bugaboo.
Well, you know what, I look at it, I think Tony looks at it the same way. What a great opportunity. You want to dispel that type of talk that he doesn't deliver in the clutch, go deliver. He's got the opportunity in the next 2 games to get his team to where it matters most, the playoffs. All you want to do is get in the tournament.
Play clock is winding down. They're not even out of the huddle. I think they may change this year because there was a slippery ball that they changed out. Yeah. Play clock's at 14 now, so they did add some seconds. Pressure. Romo looking for Dez Bryant, incomplete. He had D'Angelo Hall all over him, and now a 3rd down. Cowboys at their own 3, and now Bryant did not get up.
It looks like that right shoulder. He landed on that right shoulder as he went to the ground, and that right shoulder is hurting Dez Bryant. You see him with the one-on-one. D'Angelo Hall, tremendous job in coverage. Watch at the end, down on that right shoulder, and Dez Bryant tries to get up. That right shoulder hurting.
Well, clearly that's a guy you can't lose. I mean, Dez Bryant is the playmaker on this team. He's a 1,000-yard receiver. He's 7th in the NFL, John, with 11 receiving touchdowns. Absolutely have to have him today.
He's their go-to guy. He's Tony Romo's go-to guy. And you talk to the Cowboys, what are they as an offense? They talk about an attacking style offense. They want to run the football. Some would say they don't do it enough. But then they want to get those one-on-ones with Dez Bryant. If he's out, that's a crucial and critical loss.
That was his number last week against Green Bay. He went for 153 yards and a touchdown in that one. His career high 224 yards in a game against New Orleans. But the Cowboys will at least have to do this 3rd and 9 without him. Terrence Williams on to replace Bryant. He's at the bottom of your screen, the rookie from Baylor. Romo unloads over the middle, incomplete. Looking for Miles Austin, but that was a ground ball, and now it'll be a punt from Chris Jones from the on the end line.
Jim Haslett always has something different for Tony Romo. They're going to show the pressure. They only bring 4, but Arakpo comes unblocked. Tony Romo goes to throw hot. Essentially a throwaway. Nice defensive series keeping the Cowboys pinned by the Redskins D.
Already shown you that the Redskins punt coverage teams have been bad, but they haven't found a guy to return it either. Santana Moss has been the 5th player to return a punt. He muffed one last week against Atlanta. And the veterans got some room. Moss inside the 40, and the Redskins set up with good field position. And so the Redskins defense gets a hold, and they set up their offense with great field position. 8:08 to go, first quarter. Cowboys 7-0 on a DeMarco Murray 3-yard touchdown run. And now the Redskins, after a good punt return by Santana Moss, set up with a 1st and 10 at the Cowboy 37. And it's Alfred Morris with a big hole up the middle. Bruce Carter makes the tackle, but Morris going to pick up 8 yards.
Well, Alfred Morris has been the Cowboy killer. You're going to see DeMarcus Ware get upfield. That opens up a big gap right in there. That space for Alfred Morris. He sees the space and he gets downhill. That's that type of one-cut running. You find the hole, you put your foot in the ground and get downhill.
Look at him! Look at him! Hot! 180! Wake up!
On 2nd and 3, it's Morris again, and Morris going to be Looks like a hair shy. It'll be a 3rd down and 1 coming up. You know, Morris, it's amazing, John. Drafted in the 6th round out of Florida Atlantic. You've talked about his success against Dallas. Look at the 3 career games. He was never better than last year. Week 17, winner gets in the playoffs and wins the division. He went for 200 yards and 3 scores against these Cowboys.
He's been the Cowboy killer for sure. Had a 45-yarder in week 6 of this year. His one bugaboo this season has been holding on to the football. So look for Dallas to try to get after that ball with Alfred Morris.
3rd down and 1. They go to Morris again and pushes the pile forward for a Redskin 1st down. Three-yard run for Morris.
It's just good hard running, and Trent Williams gets the best of this matchup. That's going to be an intriguing one all day with DeMarcus Ware.
And the Redskins hurried up to the line. Morris almost bobbled that snap, and the Cowboys ready for it there. Jason Hatcher's had a real good year. Nick Hayden was there on the play. It's a loss of 2.
You see the key when you have this zone running scheme. A lot of it's going sideways, and the best thing you can do is get upfield and penetrate. That disrupts the zone scheme. Penetrate or push the lineman back, and that's the challenge on Nick Hayden and the Cowboys front today.
Roy Halou in a tailback now. He's their pass catching threat on a 2nd down and 12. They split Garcon to the top of the screen. Time for Cousins hitting Garcon on the cross, but that's only going to get 2 yards. Defended well by Orlando Scandrick, and now a 3rd and 10.
That's what really this defense that Monty Kiffin coaches is built upon, and that's where they've been failing. You're going to get back in zone coverages, but you better come up and tackle it. Scandrick did it to perfection right there. You haven't seen a whole lot of that from the Cowboys this season. A lot of missed tackles. At the moment of truth, they haven't been making the plays.
You know that guy, John. Your former defensive coordinator, Monty Kiffin, in his 1st year in Dallas. On a 3rd and 10 for the Redskins. Blitz coming against Cousins. Back foot Garcon. And another good tackle by Orlando Scandrick. That'll stop him shy of the 1st down. That is, by the way, the 100th catch of the year for Garcon.
And that is a big-time tackle. This is a strong runner. What do football games come down to? Blocking and tackling. When it's all said and done, that's a tough tackle in space, and Scandrick makes 2 of them on consecutive downs to get the Cowboys off the field.
Now this is no gimme. Kai Forbath, who's been a little erratic this year, off a very sloppy middle of the field. It'll be a 36-yard try. See only 13 field goals, 13 of 17 on the year. Sav Rocca, the punter, is the holder. Snap is down, and the kick is up and good. So the field goal by Forbath gets the Redskins on the board. Cowboys up 7-3 in the 1st. 7 plays, 19 yards. The field goal from Forbath. It was all set up by the 18-yard punt return from Santana Moss and Pierre Garcon. 100 catches on the year. Right now, that's number 1 in the NFL. Michael Spurlock had a 62-yard punt return to set up the Cowboys touchdown back on this kickoff. Just signed this week with the injury to Dwayne Harris. Spurlock running up at the 2. And very patiently meandering his way up to the 22. John Lynch, this January, a showdown between 2 of the most explosive offenses in the country. 13th ranked Oklahoma State squaring off against 8th ranked Missouri at the AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic. Coverage begins Friday, January 3rd, 7:30 Eastern, only on Fox.
That's an old Big 8 classic. Des Bryant, former Oklahoma State Cowboy. Good news for Cowboy fans. He's back out there. That shoulder looks like it's well enough for him to be out.
Yeah, went down the last series. Aaron Andrews said he was doing push-ups during the break, so I guess he's just fine. And a 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Going to give it up the middle, and a short gain that time for Murray. Well, rushing for the Cowboys, never more talked about than this week in Dallas after last week when they were gouging the Packers, John, and only handed the ball off 7 times in the second half to that guy.
After he ran for 8.5 yards per carry in the first half. And this has really been the thing that is bizarre, is that they run it well when they do run it. You see the yards per carry, 4.6. But the attempts per game 31st in the league. There's Bill Callahan taking a lot of heat, and I think deservedly so this week.
Well, they're going to give it to Murray again, and Murray working to get outside. And is going to pick up 3 yards. Perry Riley Jr. on the stop. And Murray's working against a Redskin defense that has let up points galore this year. Matter of fact, most in the league, second most in team history.
You know, the interesting thing, they aren't that bad in all the different categories. I think, again, it comes down to the turnover margin. They're 27th in the league with a -8. They've given it away a lot. They haven't taken it away enough. There's Jim Haslett, the coordinator for the Washington defense.
It'll be a 3rd down and 4 for Tony Romo. He's got time, and he fires to Jason Witten, who makes the catch. And Witten has a Cowboy 1st down. He's up to the 35-yard line. E.J. Biggers with the tackle.
A really nice throw from Romo, but watch this matchup. Tyron Smith on Arakpo. Really stalemates Arakpo, who's been hot of late, who's been getting after opposing quarterbacks. That's a critical matchup. To give Tony Romo time, you better block Brian Arakpo.
So now 1st down for Dallas. They've handed to Murray 4 times for 10 yards so far today, and they'll give it to him again. And off to the right side for a short gain. John, here's the thing about Murray. We're talking about their average per carry, how they don't give it to him enough. History says when you feed him the ball, they've won. Look at this number. That'll tell you all you need to know.
And what's somewhat perplexing is that it happened the first 3 weeks of the season. You got 2 wins out of it. Why would you go away from it? I understand you've invested a lot in your quarterback, but balance always wins in this league. And when you get up, especially, run the heck out of it.
Romo finds Jason Witten again. Josh Wilson on the stop, gain of 5. It'll bring up a 3rd down and short. And I think, you know, when you look at it, Dallas is not going to be the Redskins offense. They're not going to pound it all day long, but they need to pound it when they're ahead, at least, right?
Absolutely. You think of Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, those old Cowboy teams. They used to get up on people with Troy Aikman going 15-18 at half, and then give it to Emmitt Smith and pound a team into submission. Need a little bit more of that killer instinct when it matters most for the Cowboys.
Redskins defense actually been good on 3rd down this year. They're 35%, 6th in the league. Play clock at 0. And the Redskins, rather the Cowboys, I don't believe got it off.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, Jim Haslett, the defensive coordinator for the Washington Redskins, has given Romo fits over the years, and what he does, different game plan every time. Last time it was just keep the ball in front, very passive game plan in terms of blitz looks. Last year in week 17, it was coming, bringing the house on him, showing a lot of different looks. He told us we'll have something for him today.
Cowboys need to get it across the 45 for a 1st down.
Showing the pressure. We'll see if they come or back out.
Again, play clock at 2. Pressure coming. Romo in trouble, and down he goes. Brandon Merriweather on the safety blitz, and the Cowboys will punt it away.
They're going to overload this side with their 2 best rushers, Arakpo and Kerrigan. That leaves Merriweather, the safety, as the free runner. Tony Romo's got to find a hot receiver and get rid of that football. Nothing there, and he takes the sack.
Redskins defense with the sack. It takes us to the end of the 1st quarter from FedEx Field. London Fletcher's final home game. It's the Cowboys in front. DeMarco Murray's touchdown, 7-3. Start of the 2nd quarter from Landover. 7-3 Cowboys, and the Redskins on the punt from Jones. Good Dallas bounce, and now Moss will prevent it from going any further. And the Redskins will take it from there. It's been an interesting 2 weeks for these Redskins.
You know, coach decided to shut me down for the rest of the season.
The best thing to do for Robert was to not play him, give Kirk an opportunity to play. We made a decision that I think is the best for Robert. Do you protect your quarterback or don't you protect your quarterback?
Well, that decision has their star #1 pick, not only not playing but inactive for the last 3 games. It's got to be strange for him on the bench. We'll get to that after this play. 1st and 10 for Kirk Cousins. Washington ball on their own 21. And they stretch it out to Morris, and a good cut but slipped. That could have been an even bigger run. So John, here's the question. You saw Shanahan's decision. How does it help Griffin get better if he's not playing?
Well, I don't think it does. And I think, you know, you just heard Mike Shanahan said you got to protect Robert Griffin. Where was the protection when his health was compromised early in the season? Doesn't make a lot of sense in a lot of different angles. Now, Mike Shanahan will tell you what he needs is an offseason to develop as a drop back passer. He hasn't had that. He thinks the offseason is critical. The season was lost, and he's given Kirk Cousins the valuable reps.
On a 2nd down, it's Cousins. All kinds of time. He had Paulson open, but he didn't see him. He's going to run it anyway, and he's going to have a 1st down for Washington. Well, when we met with Shanahan, John, you know, I asked him about you know, what do you think he can learn from this? And he said, well, he thinks there's a difference watching the game live and hearing the play call and watching the secondary things like that as opposed to watching on film.
Well, you know, I get that. But to me, you know, who played in this league, I didn't play quarterback. There's nothing like experience, game experience on the field. Kirk Cousins said it. I got better in the last 2 weeks than in my whole time in the NFL because I've had a chance to get reps and valuable game reps. You learn more from that under stress than anything, and I think that goes for Robert Griffin as well.
Hard count from Cousins. Let's see if there's some movement on the Redskins. Bill Levy, our referee today.
Neutral zone infraction, number 99 defense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
It's on George Selvey, former 7th round Rams draft pick. Kirk Cousins in his first home start, coming off a game against Atlanta where he threw for 381 yards. So far today, 5 of 9, 34 yards. After the penalty, it's a 1st and 5, and here's Morris. And Morris still on his feet across midfield, and Heath is there to prevent an even bigger game. But Alfred Morris getting some traction on the sloppy field for 18 yards.
Well, a lot of people talk about the coaching. Well, there's an 8-man front. You've got all the people you need to stop the run, but you got to do what you're supposed to do. If the fullback's getting out here, the linebacker, Hallman, the rookie, you got to be outside and turn that back to your help. He doesn't get there. Alfred Morris finds the hole. Lack of execution, not bad coaching.
There's a man down on the field. Cowboys check on him. Redskins on the move, trailing by 4 in the 2nd.
Sponsored by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more.
Cowboys have been decimated with injuries. I mean, last week you had to really check the chart to see who was playing linebacker. The rookie Devontae Holloman just went out. They're without Sean Lee. They're without Justin Durant. Ernie Sims is also out. Ori Lemon has just checked in. They just signed him this week. Number 98 in at linebacker. As Morris gets no gain on the play.
You know, having played in this system too, the linebacker position is so rule intensive. Before the snap ever happens, just to get lined up in this system, very complex. If you don't have the reps, you really don't have a chance. And Holloman, a rookie, he goes out. Now Lemon comes in. He just got here. It's tough. It's tough what the Cowboys have been going through with all the injuries and their best player out at the linebacker position.
Only positive is that they got Bruce Carter back this week, number 54. He's a good player. Cousins comes near side, and on his back, Pierre Garçon makes his 101st catch of the year. Who needs footing?
See Robert Griffin III appreciating it. This is just an incredible feat of athleticism on his back, going to the ground, but the concentration, the strong hands to bring it in. That's how you go over 100 receptions in a season as an NFL receiver. Pierre Garçon continues his tremendous season.
And he's 5 away from tying Art Monk's all-time Redskin record. 3rd down and 4 as Garçon comes in motion.
We got.
Cousins with time over the middle, wide open. It's Garcon again, rumbling inside the 20 and taking down inside the 10. Wilcox on the tackle, first and goal, Washington.
Well, Brandon Carr right there, man-to-man. But watch Logan Paulson run the traffic, the pick route that frees Garcon. Kirk Cousins finds the right guy. And Garcon does the rest. Pierre Garcon having a great game on top of a great season.
He's got 6 catches for 67 yards after that 27-yard gain. And now a first and goal for Washington.
180. We got.
Morris. And Morris going to take it inside the 8. Going to be a second down coming up for Washington. Well, Garcon, you know, it's a great story. The former Indianapolis Colt came over here and got a contract last year. Johnny went to Mount Union, which those of you who don't know, what's Mount Union? It's a Division III powerhouse. They've won 17 national titles. Actually, they just lost yesterday, snapped their 29-game win streak to Wisconsin Whitewater. So Garcon, I'm sure, was sad, but not today with this play. Or dump off, and it's going to get inside the 5. Darrell Young, who we didn't think would play today with a hamstring injury, the fullback. They're bringing up a third and goal.
Well, Kirk Cousins starting to feel a rhythm, and this offense starting to feel a rhythm. You get that run game going, then the play action comes off it. Kyle Shanahan really getting a rhythm as a player, and I think Kirk Cousins coming in to the game last week really freed Kyle Shanahan as a play caller. You can really attack coverages and offenses as opposed to running plays and designing plays for Robert Griffin's athleticism.
That's Roy Halou, the running back, in motion now. The empty backfield, and now there's some movement. Santana Moss jumped.
False start. Number 89 offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
See the shifting and the motioning. Cousins trying to get things set. And Santana Moss, the wily veteran, typically does not make mistakes in his 13th year. Makes one there.
And so Cousins will have to reset and move it back to a third and goal from just outside the 7.
Garcon.
Play clock at 2. Cousins looking. Garcon has it. And no signal for a touchdown, but there is a flag.
It's going to be an illegal shift on Garcon. He moved after the motion.
Illegal shift. Offense. 2 men moved and did not come set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
You saw confusion from the start in 2 plays in a row. They've got some great rhythm, but Paulson's going to move in the motion, and Garcon's going to step up. Prior to that, he had stepped up on the line of scrimmage while Logan Paulson was already moving on the motion. Those are the little things that have plagued this team all year, and they frankly can't happen for an NFL team.
I mean, you had a third and goal at the 2, and now you're backed up beyond the 12. And now another whistle, and the Redskins call a timeout.
Washington.
My goodness.
They're first.
It was a nice looking drive until the last couple of seconds, and now the Redskins will talk it over. Trying to take the lead over the Cowboys. Here's that last penalty. So after 2 penalties and a timeout, it's third and goal for the Redskins at the 12. Cousins over the middle, and that's not going to get it done. Santana Moss with the catch. And it'll be Kai Forbath coming on to kick a short field goal.
We saw the illegal shift. Now Logan Paulson shifts back. Before he goes in motion, Garcon needs to step up. You're going to see the motion happen and the step up onto the line of scrimmage by Garcon at the same time. That makes it an illegal shift. Mike Shanahan upset, but they clearly were wrong.
And the reason is you have to have 7 on the line. You saw Paulson point over there telling him to get up before he moved. Obviously he didn't. Thus the penalty. Now Forbath from 22 yards out. And the kick is up and good. So a couple of Kai Forbath field goals. That drive could have been a lot better for Washington, but they creep within a point. Big rivals going at it here in our nation's capital.
game is sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss.
You need that wire brush today. It is wet and sloppy, although the rain has really calmed down. It was pouring here earlier today. It's a lot less than it was for sure. And the Redskins have moved the football, but haven't been able to punch it in. A couple penalties hurt them there. 7-6 Cowboys, who will get the ball off the Forbath kick. Michael Spurlock. Take it on out. And this time the Redskins have good coverage, but we got a flag down at the 30-yard line. So let's see what that is. Jose Gums was there to make the tackle, and now Cowboys down hurt. That's Kyle Wilbur. We get another flag in around the 20. That flag just came in, the one next to Wilbur. And Wilbur is another Cowboy linebacker. They literally will have nobody else to play the position if he gets hurt. I mean, that's how dire the need is, how many injuries they've had at that spot.
Last week, Kevin, they go with the backups. Ernie Sims, who's a backup, he's got a communication system in his helmet. Justin Durant, who's been in and out with health. You're going to see
During
17 right here.
Holding. Number 51
Kyle Wilbur
of the receiving team.
He gets the hold. He brings him down, and he's the one who's hurt. But last week, they were left with no one with the communication system in their helmet. They're hand signaling, and it's just been decimating the injuries to the Dallas Cowboys linebackers.
A couple big games going on today. Let's get our first game break of the day with Kurt.
All right, the New Orleans Saints try an onside kick just after they get a field goal. This is against Carolina, obviously a huge matchup. They recover it, add another field goal, and right now they lead it 6-0 in a crucial game in deciding the NFC South. Kevin, John, and Aaron.
That is a monster game, John. I mean, whoever wins that game in the driver's seat, Saints can get a first-round bye, and if Carolina wins the next two, they've got the division, and so huge in Carolina today. Why is home field advantage important to the Saints? That's why.
You got to love Sean Payton's aggressiveness in big games. You see Carolina with the 6-1 home record, but who can forget the Super Bowl against the Indianapolis Colts? Sean Payton coming out of half with the onside, not afraid to go for the trick plays when it matters most.
Carolina held. They got a big run, I think, from Pierre. Up the shadow of their own end zone. They'll start this drive out on the 7th. And they'll get it to Murray. Nice cutback. And Wilson looking for a hold there. Look at Murray with the big run. Still on his feet. And he's in the Redskin territory. A 43-yard run for Murray.
And this is why you hand the ball to DeMarco Murray and you keep handing it to him. Watch the great block by Jason Witten, but then watch the stiff arm. Here comes Reed Doughty, get off me. And then he turns the corner, looks so much like Eric Dickerson with that long, tall stride. DeMarco Murray, an outstanding talent. They got to utilize him more. And Des Bryant says, keep running, DeMarco. And also keep handing it to him, Bill.
That certainly works. Murray now over 1,000 yards on the season, and a good fake from Romo. Looking to air it out deep, wasn't there. They'll give it to Murray. You know, DeMarco Murray, he's been hurt a little bit in his career in his time with Dallas. He missed 2 games this year with a sprained knee, but now with 1,000 yards, the first Cowboy, how about this? First Cowboy 1,000-yard rusher since Julius Jones in 06. Only the second one since Emmitt Smith left. They're dying for a back like this.
And I tell you what I respected was the poise he showed, because you know he was upset. You know he was as hot can be because he had so much success running it. He wanted that ball last week. You got to give it to him. You got to keep giving it to him.
Former Oklahoma Sooner 3rd-round pick. It's a 2nd and 6. Fake it to him here. Pressure, and Romo, beautiful footwork, finds Des Bryant, who's got it inside the 20. And they'll mark that one down right around the 15-yard line.
We hear so much about what's wrong with Tony Romo, but what's right is the ability to extend plays, reset, eyes downfield, and find your #1 target in Des Bryant. Nobody does it better than Tony Romo. Slides to the right, eyes downfield, finds the soft spot in the zone, and delivers an accurate football.
Cowboys are tremendous in the red zone. They are 3rd in the league at 70%. They're 20% better than last year. They've really improved. And here's Murray up the gut for a gain of 2. John, you talked about feeding DeMarco Murray here, but I think this illustrates your point even more.
Well, I'm not making it up. I mean, there's a pattern to it. And in the first half, they give it to him. He does it with great success, and then for some reason, they go away from him. Again, I understand you've got Tony Romo, you've got Des Bryant, but there's a time and place. Get up and hammer people with that run to finish people off.
Romo on 2nd down, all kinds of time against a 4-man rush. Thought about running. Kerrigan coming, still on his feet, airing it out for Bryant. That goes to Nowheresville. Thought for a second he was going to take off. He could have.
Well, I think he would have been wise to take off because there was a lot of green grass there. I think what Tony knows is that Des Bryant can make so many plays. We saw it at the end, but look at all that green grass. There's positive yards to be made. Take off and get them. But he knows he's got Des, who can make so many plays in the back of that end zone like he did last week against the Green Bay Packers.
It's 9.5 seconds before he threw the ball. 9.5.
9 Mississippi.
You only count 5 Mississippi on the playground. What's that? 3rd and 9 for Dallas. Play clock at 2. Blitz coming. Look at the deep by Romo. Now can he find someone? He does! What a play by Romo! Touchdown Bryant. Oh, that was sweet.
The Redskins sit there and, oh, magnificent. Watch E.J. Biggers. This is a safety, a cornerback. Romo sets him up, pulls the John Elway spin, keeps his eyes downfield, finds Des Bryant. That is wonderful quarterbacking, wonderful athleticism by Tony Romo.
And how about the body control from Bryant, John? What did Romo tell us about Bryant? You know, he's talking about him and singing his praises. So he does a fantastic job adjusting his body. He could put it in a weird position to come down with the ball. He came down with that one, a 14-yard touchdown, his 12th of the year. And the Cowboys up their lead over the Redskins in Landover. There's no other way to say it. That play by Tony Romo was incredible.
Phenomenal. That's as good as it gets. And Des Bryant, fabulous, fabulous receiver. A lot of talk about Des Bryant leaving the field on the Cowboys before the game was over last week. We'll get to that in a second.
First, it's Bailey's kickoff, and it's Nick Williams who will take it on out. Williams, and he gets across the 20 and knocked down there by Tanner. But here's what you're talking about last week. And Des Bryant had a great game, John. I mean, 153 yards, a touchdown. Packers couldn't stop him. But what you can't have is what happens at the end.
Tough loss. He sees it unraveling, and he walks off the field. Now, he's got an explanation. He wanted to remove himself. You see 122 in the 4th quarter. You can't ever put yourself above the team. I think the Cowboys should have come down hard with a fine, even a suspension for Des Bryant. You cannot do that.
And Morris on the carry. Kyle Wilbur back in. So is Devontae Holloman. So we told you about those linebackers banged up, both back in the game. Let's go down the field with Aaron Andrews for more on that.
Yeah, Kevin, just really quickly on Kyle Wilbur. He has a big gash underneath his helmet there. They actually have a huge Band-Aid covering it. He's fine. He's good to go. They were working on his helmet, though, quite a bit just to make sure the helmet wouldn't actually open the Band-Aid and open that gash back up.
Hey, White!
Gotcha, Aaron. You know, he took that, remember, he took that hard shot on the special teams where he got called for the hold. He took a shoulder pad right up to the face. Cousins, pressure in his face. He finds Fred Davis. who came out of his invisibility cloak to catch a touchdown last week. And he's getting some time because of the injury to Jordan Reed. It's a shame, John. Jordan Reed looked like he was developing into a star. A month ago, got concussed against the Eagles, and his season is over.
Well, Jordan Reed, outstanding football player they found from Florida. And this would be the game. All the injuries to the middle of this Dallas defense, he's a guy who could take advantage of it. Kyle Shanahan and Mike Shanahan think the future is so bright for Jordan Reed, and I believe right there with him.
Cousins going to dump it over the middle to Paulson, and that's only going to get you a yard and a half. Devontae Holloman there. Well, John, you wanted to finish on Bryant there, talking about him leaving the field early.
Well, I just think it's when you do that, when adversity hits, you've got to be able to respond. Your teammates can't count on you, and that will rear its ugly head at some point. And I understand Des Bryant, an emotional player. We're all emotional players. Competitive player, we're all competitive. That's not okay, and I don't believe the Cowboys made that clear to Des Bryant.
Meanwhile, Morris gets buried in the backfield. Jason Hatcher has had a good year coming into the game with 9 sacks. You know, we talked about the Cowboys injuries, John, but think about this. We're supposed to have Jay Ratliff in the middle. We're supposed to have Anthony Spencer outside. I mean, a lot of impact players, but Hatcher's really filled in and done a nice job in that interior line. Of course, Lee, who's out with the neck injury.
Some of their best players. When you talk to the Redskins, Spencer was their best defensive player last year. Sean Lee's clearly been the best defensive player this year.
We've hit the 2-minute warning here in Landover. Mike Shanahan's team moving the ball, hasn't gotten in the end zone. It's the Cowboys up 14-6. 14-6 Cowboys, 2 minutes to go in this first half. Kirk Cousins has a 3rd and 9. We're lining up. But Cousins has time, unloads, and he's got a completion into Cowboys territory. It's Garcon again, who's had a big first half. 26-yard gain.
That's one thing Kirk Cousins can do. He's going to find the right guy, but I love the authority. He lets it rip. I mean, there is torque going on in that throwing motion. He said he's always been a natural thrower of the football, can get some juice on it. It's impressive to watch.
Redskins hurrying it up. Cousins again. It's Garcon on the cross, and it's another Redskin first down. He's down to the 28. It's a gain of 12.
Watch out, Art Monk, because he's coming after your record, and Kirk Cousins is making sure of it.
He's already got 8 catches for 107 yards, John. 2 more catches will tie that Monk record. What a half. Palou is in the game at running back. Blitz coming, and Cousins just lets it fly and gets dipped. Heath came on the blitz.
And Jeff Heath going to come on up and come right off the edge. Not enough to block them all. Cousins looking for the hot, but no one reacts. And Jeff Heath lays the lumber on him. Cousins looking for the hand up, and Heath says, "No, this is Cowboys Redskins."
I mean, come on. That's not going to happen. It was a good try by Kirk Cousins. That's Fred Davis in motion, number 83, on a 2nd and 10. Cousins firing, incomplete. He's high on the middle looking for Josh Morgan. Barry Church on the bounce. And a 3rd and 10.
One of the things Kyle Shanahan, when I was talking to him yesterday, said about Kirk Cousins, he throws with such confidence. There's going to be some picks. You can't just get back that gunslinger mentality. He's going to throw it to the right guy, but because he throws with timing, anticipation, and throws with such authority, there's going to be some picks. We saw him last week, and we've seen a couple near misses today.
And now 3rd down and 10. With 55 seconds to go in the half. Play clock at 1. They'll get it off. And Cousins has all kinds of time and throws behind Moss, intercepted. And there it is, John. You just talked about it, and Jeff Heath picks it off.
on the common denominator with his picks have not been the decisions. Good decision here to get it to Santana Moss. They've been behind receivers. When you throw behind, deflections and things of that nature take place in this league, and Jeff Heath brings in the interception for the Cowboys.
The rookie gets his first career interception of the Cowboys with a big stand. Aerial coverage today provided by Nationwide Insurance as the sun pokes out for the first time all day after pouring rains earlier. Said it was supposed to be that way all day, but weather's getting a little bit better. After the interception by the rookie Heath, Cowboys have 47 seconds left, deep in their own territory, so they give it to DeMarco Murray. He's had a good impact on this first half, out to the 14. And Murray now is 62 yards in this first half, a gain of 7.
See Kirk Cousins, and you like to see this. Robert Griffin III, been a tough year for him. But you got to be there for your buddy. Kirk Cousins has been there for you. Robert Griffin sits there with Kirk Cousins, counsel him. They look at the pictures together. You got to love that from Robert Griffin III.
Hey, hold on now.
14 seconds left. Looks like the Cowboys are just fine taking it to the break with their 14-6 lead. They will have to snap it one more time, or they could take the penalty here. And it looks like they will do that, and that will take it down. And that will do it for the first half here in Landover. So the Cowboys with a couple of touchdowns to the Redskins, couple of field goals. It's 14-6 at the break. Now to L.A. Kurt Menefee and the boys with the halftime show coming on up. That goes back to 1960. A reminder, you can follow your favorite team all season long at iTunes.com/NFL. We're underway in the second half, and it's Michael Spurlock with a big punt return to start off this game, and he's going to be in trouble here and buried at the 11-yard line. So the Redskins make a nice play on special teams. Been a rarity for them this year. So John, here we are. The Cowboys up by 8. They control their playoff destiny. The question is, second half lead. I don't know if that's a good thing for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, DeMarco Murray's at it again, averaging almost 8 yards per carry. Are they going to continue to give it to him? Or are they going to freeze him out? Keep giving it to him. I like the way Tony Romo's played. He's made a couple magnificent plays, only thrown it 9 times, but protecting the football. He's not losing the game. And I think the matchups are going to be there because they're running the football with effectiveness early.
Cowboys only had 18 plays in that first half, and they'll give it to Murray here, who breaks through, and DeMarco Murray with a gain of 10 and a first down. So out of the 8 plays, they handed to Murray 8 times in the first half, and now he's up to 72 yards already on the day.
Well, he's running well, and you got to credit that group up front. They've got a couple of outstanding young linemen, the cornerstones, and it starts in the middle with Frederick right there, 72, the left tackle, Tyron Smith. This group has been playing great football. You see Frederick up to the second level, DeMarco Murray doing the rest of the work.
And they'll feed it to him again. Murray, and upended by Josh Wilson, who laid the shoulder pads in, and a stop after a gain of 2. No, it's amazing. This Cowboys team, this really looks like the sequel and then the next sequel. I mean, 2 years ago, they get to the NFC East Week 17 winner take all. They lose to the Giants. Last year, same thing. They come here, they lose to the Redskins. And it's certainly looking like the same thing. If the Cowboys win today, it really doesn't matter what the Eagles do. Next week's for all the marbles in the NFC East. On second down, it's Romo, and Romo is going to hit the fullback clutch, who fumbled the ball. And the Redskins have it. Josh Wilson was the guy. And he comes out firing it into the crowd. So they threw it to Tyler Klutz. And that kind of apropos for that play, wasn't it?
Well, Tony Romo checks it down to Klutz. He has not handled the football today, and it showed. Josh Wilson with a tremendous tackle to get the ball out, puts his helmet right on the football, and then he's going to grind to get that fumble. He comes up with it. Very good football play by Josh Wilson.
So that was clearly a catch and a fumble. That from Mike Pereira, just reviewing for us in L.A. But Josh Wilson, who made the nice tackle to start this second half, now with the big play. And the fumble on Klutz, and now the Redskins, who haven't been able to get in the end zone. They've been in the red zone twice, settled for a couple of field goals. Here, we'll start it out with a 1st and 10 on their own 33. Cousins will sling it to Darrell Young, who breaks a tackle but can't break free. He got tripped up there by Barry Church. And who knows, Young's been battling a hamstring injury for the last month. Maybe that was a factor too.
But give this Cowboys defense, much maligned Cowboys defense, record-setting in a bad way, Cowboys defense, some credit. Washington moved the ball. They had the ball the majority of that first half, but they kept them out of the end zone. That's the important thing. Monty Kiffin's defense keeping the Redskins out of the end zone.
White. What it is? Wake up.
2nd and 10. Cousins. 3-step drop. It's Garcon. Is a monster game so far, and Pierre Garcon will get it down and move the sticks for Washington. Now one more catch, and Garcon ties Art Monk's record.
And Brandon Carr, the cornerback, he's getting eaten alive by Pierre Garcon right now, and Kirk Cousins would be wise to keep wearing that matchup out. Brandon Carr, a high-price free agent. He's struggling in coverage. You got to do more work at the line of scrimmage. Don't open the gate. Stay square. Get your hands on him. Carr's been struggling of late for these Cowboys.
Garcon's got 117 yards on 9 catches today. Movement along the line. It's Morris getting the carry. Morris with a big hole, and the flags fly. And Morris is inside the 15. And you would think this is on the Cowboys. DeMarcus Ware doesn't think so. Bill Levy and his crew talking it over. John, you were talking about this defense, and I'll finish after this.
Offside, a defensive tackle by the Dallas Cowboys. 5-yard penalty, still 1st and 5.
And they got that right to blow that dead because Ware got in the neutral zone. Williams reacted. They didn't give him the play. They blew it dead, as well they should.
You look at Ware, but you're talking about this defense kind of doing the job today, holding their own. We were telling you how injured they were. Think about this from Monty Kiffin, what he's working with. They've had 18 different players play defensive line this year. 18.
And Jason Garrett says when you start calling your vets, the guy that came here in week 4, you got a problem. And that's been much of the season, both in the entire front 7 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Now 1st and 5, and it's Morris. And Alfred Morris going to be close to a 1st down, depending on the spot. Well, that's what happened last week. That was Green Bay, 5 possessions, 5 touchdowns out of the break. The only time they didn't, they kneeled it down. It was the only time they didn't score.
An incredible patience by Mike McCarthy. Down 23, he goes to the run. And that's what was so bizarre about the game. They ran it. The Cowboys started throwing it. Didn't make any sense. And as a result, the Cowboys came up on the losing end.
2nd down and 1. Redskins go big formation. They go 1st down with Morris, who's still churning his way down to the 7. It's a 1st and goal for Washington.
I think Kyle Shanahan taking a cue from Mike McCarthy and the Green Bay Packers. They went in at halftime and said, let's hammer them with the run. You're going to see Chester, the guard, pull around on Bruce Carter. Alfred Morris finds the hole. Big yardage. Imposing their will up front is this offensive line. And Alfred Morris getting great yardage.
Morris up to 54 yards rushing on the day. 1st and goal. And more flags.
False start, illegal snap. Number 63, offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
The 3rd penalty inside the 10-yard line.
I was just going to say, last time down in the red zone, 2 false start, illegal shift. And the penalties down in that red zone. It's hard to get down there. When you get down there, play clean football.
5th penalty of the day on Washington. They're right in the middle of the pack penalties in the league. But you can't do it, especially there. Been in the red zone twice. They've had to settle for field goals twice, and now they move it back. And they go empty backfield. Look at that bunch, John. And they're going to set it up to Morgan, getting some blocking. And Morgan gets inside the 10. Cowboys played it pretty well. J.J. Wilcox, rookie safety on the stop.
Typically, you see the bunch in the NFL. It includes 3 players. This was quads. You got 4 players out here, 3 tight ends. So get it to Josh Morgan, an old punt returner, and let him do the rest. Nice design, but good tackling once again for this Dallas Cowboys defense.
Kind of expected to see Lane Johnson out there from the Eagles, and that looks like a Chip Kelly type formation. And
here it is
to
the other side. Now watch the one-on-one backside. They're going to give him some safety help.
And Dallas calls a timeout. Skandrick is trying to communicate with his teammates. There is some confusion, so at least Redskins made Dallas burn a timeout there. The fumble by Dallas. Can the Redskins capitalize? Trailing by 8, knocking on the door. We come back.
This game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
Cowboys by 8. Redskins knocking on the door with this strange formation, John, again.
Watch for that one-on-one with Pierre Garçon.
2nd and goal. They go that way. Garçon in and out of the hands. You called it. And Garçon, who usually catches everything, couldn't haul it in.
And Brandon Carr, at some point during this game, he's going to have to step up because they're coming after him, and he does just that. Closes on the football, gets that left hand, that right hand in there, gets that ball out. Great throw by Cousins, though. You can't throw it any better.
Just got enough to get in there and distract it, and now a 3rd down and goal. Got Roy Halou in the game at back. And Tanner Moss in the slot. He's been quiet today. Had a big game last week. And again a penalty. This time the slot goes short, and it's a touchdown. We'll see what the flag is, but it's a touchdown Washington for now.
Offside. Number 54 defense. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
And so the Redskins capitalize on the Josh Wilson forced fumble and recovery to get within 2.
And the game plan for Washington thus far, throw it to 88. And that's a good game plan because he's having himself quite a day. He's had a terrific season. Again, they run traffic at Brandon Carr. Creates some space for Garçon. Cousins puts it on the money. Touchdown Redskins.
10 catches, 125 yards, and a touchdown for Pierre Garçon, who now has tied Art Monk for the all-time receptions leader in a single season for Washington. Redskins within a point in the 3rd. Pierre Garçon with the touchdown catch, his 10th today, 106 on the year, tying an all-time great, Art Monk, for the best single season in Redskins history. And there's still plenty more to do in this game as the Cowboys will kneel in and started out on their own 20. Garçon has just had a day. 10 for 125, John.
They came out, they targeted Pierre Garçon, and he's had wide open space. He's had tight coverage. The common denominator, he's bringing the football in. He's saying, feed me. And Kirk Cousins gladly obliges.
Well, the Cowboys are up by points, but the Redskins have dominated the clock. They've moved the ball. The turnover changed the play there. Josh Wilson made it. Forced the fumble, recovered it, led to the touchdown. And the Cowboys with the ball, their lead cut to 1. Here come the Redskins. Romo slides by, and he finds Des Bryant on the near side, falls forward for a Dallas first down, a gain of 11.
Clearly, Romo's greatest skill today has been the ability to work the pocket, finding the little seam, sliding to the left, sliding up, and keeping his eyes downfield and finding Des Bryant. Tony Romo very proficient at that, and certainly has been today.
And the Cowboys, interesting here, John, that they go with an empty backfield and no DeMarco Murray. Murray 10 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown today. On 1st and 10, here's Cole Beasley's first catch. It's a good block from Des Bryant, and Beasley dives forward to pick up 9.
Bill Callahan right now, Washington loading the box, saying we're going to take DeMarco out. So what do? You get to a spread, you spread them out. Jason Garrett looking at the play sheet, and that's essentially a run play right there to Cole Beasley, but you can't get away from DeMarco Murray. They wisely bring him back in the game. Have to stay balanced.
Murray back in, gets the carry, and should have a yard to move the chains for Dallas. Let's see where the spot is. It's close. Still waiting on the signal, and it looks like that is indeed a first down. So a good yard for DeMarco Murray. Well, they just announced third down. Meanwhile, the markers say first. That's a first. That's a first down. The chains are moved, so they announced the third down in the stadium. The fans are getting up, but no, it's a 1st and 10. And Romo coming near side, intercepted D'Angelo Hall. Back-to-back turnovers on consecutive possessions for the Cowboys. And D'Angelo Hall has the interception, his 4th of the year.
Well, watch D'Angelo Hall. Eyes never leave Tony Romo. Brings his eyes back. Des Bryant goes down. That's a bad throw, though. Ill-advised throw. Throw it away. Tony Romo bit by the interception yet again.
The 43rd career pick for Hall, and the Redskins have it in Cowboy territory. After the interception from D'Angelo Hall, it's the Redskins in terrific field position with 1st and 10, trailing by a point here in the 3rd. And it's Alfred Morris who's going to get to the 45. Interesting developments on the Dallas sideline during commercial.
Here's Des Bryant getting frustrated. His wide receiver coach, Derek Dooley. But this is the more poignant one. DeMarco Murray, I promise you, he's going up to his head coach saying, trust me, give me the ball. Don't do this again. Give me the ball. And they'd be wise to do just that.
Well, back-to-back possessions with turnovers to start the second half, and Murray's averaging 6.9 yards a carry. Cousins on the play action. Arm hit as he throws, doesn't matter. Garcon again, who's tearing up Brandon Carr. And now Pierre Garcon is in the record books, passing Art Monk all by his lonesome.
It starts with the play action fake that draws the linebackers up, clears the void, and Brandon Carr having a rough day at the office. Compliments of Pierre Garcon. Kirk Cousins smart, keep wearing it out. They can't stop it, wear it out.
Redskins down by 1. They got a 1st and 10 at the Dallas 26-yard line. There's Garcon in the slot. Play clock at 3. And they'll get it off with a fake, and he's looking for Garcon again, a little out in front. That time Skandrick had better coverage on Garcon. New Redskins record, 107 catches. He's got 11 this game, which is also a personal single game best. What a season. And then this. The Cowboys have been a good team with the turnovers this year. That's been one of their assets. But late second half, it's helped them blow some big leads this year. Here's Morris, breaks through the first couple of tackles. Alfred Morris, shoulder pads down, and he's near a 1st down.
When you're given the opportunity, you got to make the play. Wind breaks in the backfield. Alfred Morris shoes him off, and Alfred Morris getting downhill.
And now a 3rd and 1 from the 17. They go to Morris again, no secret, and Morris right off the gut for a 1st down. No secret what the Redskins are doing, John. Here it comes. Stop it.
Well, the time of possession, they possessed it for 26 minutes now. Chris Chester going to pull to the left. Alfred Morris gets behind him. There's the seam. Run through tackles is what Alfred Morris does best.
And now it's Morris again up the middle. And Alfred Morris is inside the 5. Redskins can actually get a first down at the 1. And Morris now is 71 yards rushing.
And if a play's working, go ahead and repeat it. Watch Chris Chester. He's going to pull around. Same play they just ran. It's working. Stick to it. Just like throwing to Garcon earlier. Now they're starting to repeat the run plays as they're wearing this Cowboy defense out.
Garcon matched up against Carr, bottom of your screen. On a second down, it's Morris again. And Alfred Morris is in. Touchdown, Washington. It's almost like the Redskins are taking what should be the Cowboys script.
Running it right down their throat. Alfred Morris, this offensive line. The line of scrimmage starting to move in favor of the Washington Redskins. And Alfred Morris knocks it out of the park with a touchdown for the Redskins.
So the D'Angelo Hall interception, 2 turnovers for the Redskins, and they converted into 2 touchdowns for Morris's 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys have seen another second half lead go down the drain. It was a 14-6 Cowboys lead at the half. It's not a lead anymore. 2 turnovers, and the Redskins have converted them into 2 touchdowns. Alfred Morris scoring the latest to put Washington in front. And now the kickoff is deep by Forbeth. Spurlock takes a knee. And the Redskins and D'Angelo Hall pretty fired up, trying to play spoiler today. And ejection of the Cowboys, who find themselves trailing. Never be without football. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call ** NFL to download it right now. The Redskins have converted 2 Cowboys second half turnovers into 2 touchdowns. And now it's Romo to Bryant, incomplete. And just like last week, the Cowboys are going away from that running game, despite the fact that DeMarco Murray is averaging 6.9 yards a carry.
Unexplainable. I can't help you there. You know, you have to learn from past history. And I understand attacking defenses, but attack them with DeMarco Murray. That's been your most effective weapon. They're getting away from it again here today. And it's going to be their undoing unless they change it.
Starting to rain again here at Landover. Pretty clear for most of the second quarter. Raining again. Romo under duress, airs it out, and Merriweather was the closest player. Let's go down to Aaron Andrews.
Kevin, when Alfred Morris ran in that touchdown, DeMarco Murray put his head down, shook his head, and said, okay, let's go. He then walked over to his offensive line, said something very passionately. He walked away. They all opened their eyes and looked around. It took him a while to get out on that field. When Dallas's offense went out there, he was all business. They got to get this guy the ball.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, Morris he's been the bell cow here, and now in the second half, the Cowboys have passed it 6 times and only run it 3, and now a 3rd and 10. Redskins coming with pressure. Romo in trouble, and down he goes. It's Kerrigan.
Here's Ryan Kerrigan. He's going to stunt inside. Bernadou late to come out and get him. Romo can't do his magic this time. 3 straight passes for the Cowboys. Another 3 and out for the Washington Redskins defense.
8.5 sacks for Kerrigan, and now it's Jones punting from his own end zone. Terrific job by the Redskins D, and now it's Santana Moss, returnable punts. Moss has a seam, and a good return moves it out to the 48, and the Redskins have all the momentum right now. 17-yard return from Santana Moss. This January, a showdown between 2 of the most explosive offenses in the country. 13th ranked Oklahoma State squaring off against 8th ranked Missouri. AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic coverage. It'll begin on Friday, January 3rd, 7:30 Eastern, only on Fox. injured Cowboy on the field right now after that punch. John, think about this. We said at the beginning, and we've said it throughout, Cowboys control their own destiny here. If they win the last two, they're in. But how about the folks in Philadelphia right now? And these are the blown leads, which have cost them to this point 4 losses. But if the Cowboys lose this game, Eagles play tonight against the Bears. The Eagles could win the division and a playoff spot tonight. It's huge.
It's unbelievable, and the Cowboys will have no one to blame but themselves. Look, the more I watch this team, I think even if they were to get in the playoffs, I don't think they're good enough to do much damage. The talent level, but then the play calling, the game management. Again, we're seeing history repeat itself. You got to learn from your mistakes, and what do? They come out in the second half pass happy, and it's bit them.
And now the Redskins with 2 third-quarter touchdowns with a good start at their own 48. And they go jumbo package to Morris again. And this time Morris with a short gain will get 2 to midfield. So, John, how is it that after last week when you blow a 23-point lead and you don't run the ball in the second half, that literally the same exact thing plays it out in this game, and the Cowboys are doing the same exact thing?
You know, sometimes I think you outsmart yourself and you say, you know, they think we're going to run, so we got to throw it. They're loading the box, so we got to throw it. No, you don't. Run it right through it. We're seeing the Washington Redskins with Alfred Morris do just that right now and wearing this Dallas defense out.
They fake to Morris, and Young bobbles. Incomplete.
Thing you really got to be concerned with if you're Jason Garrett, your defense has been out there for the majority of this game. The Redskins have possessed it 28 minutes to only 14 for the Dallas Cowboys. This defense is getting worn out. Where it affects you is on that run game, but also on third down, your pass rush. You don't have much in your legs when you've been out there the entire game.
And now a 3rd down and 8. Cowboys have not sacked Cousins today. As a matter of fact, the last 6 weeks, their pass rush has pretty much gone away. They want a flag, and they get it. Redskins may have moved. Oh, delay a game.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's been a little bit of an issue. 6 penalties for Washington today. Kirk Cousins, 169 yards, 144 of them have gone to Pierre Garçon. So I don't know. Maybe look for number 88 on this particular play.
You might want to double him. Brandon Carr's not getting it done. You need to give him some extra attention.
There is Garçon at the top of your screen. There's Aldridge Robinson, their speed guy at the bottom. Pressure coming. Here's Moss, and a good tackle. And the ball comes flag. We get a flag. That's on J.J. Wilcox.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 27 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Skandrick makes a terrific tackle, but here comes J.J. Wilcox. Bill Levy and his crew all over it. That is not smart football. When you're fighting for a playoff job position, you've got to play smart. That's a cheap shot by J.J. Wilcox at the worst time. And here comes Alfred Morris and the Redskins to make them pay.
I mean, that wasn't even remotely close. Oh, and it's going bad. It's going bad. And now the Redskins trying to put the hammer down. They get a gift 1st down, and they go to the eye with Morris, and they give it to him. Alfred Morris. It just seems like he gets positive yards all the time. He gets 3 on that carry.
This offensive line, the surge is really starting to push in the direction of the Dallas team. They're going backwards. The offensive line imposing their will, and Alfred Morris and Ray Halou now take an example of it.
Cousins taking his time, plenty of time on a 2nd and 7. Morris again, and that time Morris, excuse me, that was Halou in that time, and George Selvey made a good tackle.
That's really what you have to have. The playmakers, the big playmakers, the DeMarcus Wares of the world. This is when your team needs you most. Your playoff hopes are on the line. Your best players got to play big. Right there, Selvey makes an outstanding play in the backfield.
And now another 3rd and long. Redskins not only leading and dominating yards, but the 2 turnovers have led to the 2 scores. Garcon in motion, now topping the screen. It's a 3rd and 9. Cousins over the middle to Paulson, but he's going to be shy of the first, but that at least will give him an opportunity to try a field goal. And indeed, they'll try that as Forbath will come on in. So the penalty will give Forbath the opportunity to try a field goal. Keep that in mind.
J.J. Wilcox trying to explain it. And look, I'm all for hustle, getting to the football, finishing runners, receivers off, but that was ill-advised, to say the least, by J.J. Wilcox.
Forbath will have a couple minutes to think about this field goal kick. We've reached the end of the 3rd quarter from Landover. Jason Garrett trying to urge his team on, but it's the Redskins in front. We start the 4th quarter from Landover, and the Redskins trying to play spoiler. We'll start it out with a field goal attempt from Kai Forbath of 48 yards. He's only 2 of 4 from 40 and out. Low snap, and Forbath puts it through. And the really bad penalty on J.J. Wilcox leads to that field goal, which makes it a 2-score game for Washington. RG3, oh, Mike Shanahan's pretty pumped. 23-14 Washington.
This game is sponsored by Universal Pictures' new film Lone Survivor, in theaters January 10th.
17 points the second half for the Redskins. They've capitalized on some bad Cowboys mistakes, and now it's a 2-score game after that Forbath 48-yard field goal. Cowboys have it early in the 4th. They'll start it on their own 20. And John, this is the story in this second half.
It's been miscues, and it's been, to my disbelief, heavy on the pass once again. When DeMarco Murray's been effective, averaging 6.9 yards per carry. What is it? It's 3 runs and 7 passes in the second half.
And meanwhile, Washington, which is a running team, but they've run it 12 times and passed 8 coming from behind. Now down 9. Can they afford to stick with the run?
They need to.
Well, they do here. It's Murray on first down. He's got a good gain out to the 25 and a gain of 5.
I mean, every time you're doing it, you're getting 5-6 yards a pop. Why not wear it out? Then that opens up the one-on-ones outside with Des Bryant. You've got to continue to have that balance to get yourself back in this game. That's not to say you can't throw. There's an opportune time to throw.
I almost wonder if now that it's starting to rain harder again, if that makes them run it a little bit. We'll see. Murray again, this time left. And this time he runs into a brick wall. Brian Orakpo, Perry Riley have the stop.
Brian Orakpo has really come on. 7 sacks in his past 6 games. Coming back from the pec injury last year. And Orakpo's health has allowed him to go play well. This is where he's a tear on 3rd down. Just making the tackle on that 2nd down play.
Jim Haslett told us you could see early on he wasn't hesitant and he didn't use his arm. He said he's on fire now. 7 sacks to last 6 games for Orakpo, and you can bet he's coming here on a 3rd and 4.
There's Orakpo up top.
Romo has protection, though. He can run it. Going to throw it instead, and it is a catch. What a catch by Terrence Williams in double coverage. And there's an injured Redskin. That's Orakpo, who we just spoke about.
Let's check Terrence Williams out in this catch. Sitting in the soft spot in the zone. There's no force out anymore, remember. Both feet down. Does that left foot get down? I think that's going to be an interesting one.
I thought he was down, but now this is a bigger issue with Orakpo down.
Pass for a first down.
First of all, credit Tyron Smith. He's been outstanding. One-on-one, and he's winning it. And you watch Tyron Smith come and finish Orakpo. And right away, it looks like he grabs for that groin. And that would be a big loss for these Washington Redskins.
That slippery turf, he didn't have the footing. Now let's see if he caught this both feet. All right, right.
Now the right one's clearly down.
Here's a good angle.
That left one's down. Ball's controlled right now.
Yeah, it got in there. I think he controlled it the whole way, and I think
I'm just not. That
Right.
left foot might be up in the air. Is that enough to overturn it? Remember, catch on the field.
I thought on the other angle just before he fell out that left one hit. Watch this. Now initially it's very hard to tell. All right, he's got the ball here. Now the left is off. It's off. It's off. Watch the left here, John. There.
There, he drags it.
He's in.
Good call, Kevin.
And Arakpo is going to walk off gingerly. That's tough for him. He's had a solid year coming back from that injury. You saw him exchanging a little fist bump with London Fletcher. Talked about Fletcher. Said during the week, retiring. 99% sure he's retiring, John. Think about him. His final home game, the emotions. We met with him. He was terrific. And guy, free agent out of John Carroll, has never missed a game in 16 years. Rob Jackson comes on for Arakpo, number 50. And they give to Murray. So the Cowboys sticking with the run game here. And Murray gets it out near the 45.
Just another 6 yards. Get behind that center, Travis Frederick, the rookie from Wisconsin. Put your head down, find the seam in the zone, and fall forward. It's worked out very well. Another 6 yards on first down for DeMarco Murray.
There is still plenty of time here in this fourth quarter for the Cowboys to stay with this plan down 9. It's Murray again, and they are staying true to the run, and Murray fights forward before the Redskins pile him up. Perry Riley and Kerrigan, you know, John, you think about Fletcher, right? I mean, the guy coming out of a small school like he did, won a Super Bowl with the Rams. This is his 255th career game. And he's been here for an awful long time. 4-time Pro Bowler, signed here in 07.
Mike Shanahan says he's never coached a player better in preparation. His play clearly has fallen off this year, but what a career for London Fletcher.
And now a 3rd and 1 for Tony Romo. Pressure up the middle, stays alive, fires a low throw, but it is caught. And Romo is hurt. Miles Austin makes the grab, but this is the picture right here.
Well, it's Rob Jackson who came in for Arakpo. It looks like he's got Romo dead to rights. He beats Tyron Smith, and the spin out again by Romo. And Romo clearly limping before the throw and then after. Very ginger. We'll see if he can continue to play.
Well, he's in there now, and he picks up a big 3rd down. And Romo can barely hand it off. Oh, he's in some pain.
He's struggling. It's Kyle Orton who's the backup. Tony Romo trying to gut it out, but clearly is bothered. Watch the lack of mobility by Tony Romo. Doing his best just to get the ball to DeMarco Murray, and doesn't want to put any weight on that right leg.
John, if he can't hand off, how can he drop back and throw?
We'll see. And if I'm Jim Haslett, I'm bringing the heat right now.
Sure looks like they're going to do just that. Getting the pistol formation, they pitch it to Murray, who gets good blocks and then gets whacked at the 40 by Perry Riley. But a 4-yard game. You know, Romo's he's a tough player, man. He played through a fractured rib in San Francisco a couple years ago and won a game in overtime. I think sometimes people don't give him that moniker, but he's trying to gut it out here.
His toughness should never be questioned. And when you see this 3rd and 6, here's the crucial 3rd down. Tony Romo, he's hurting. Can he convert? Critical 3rd down conversion for Tony Romo. Showing pressure again up front.
Bryant against the blitz, and it's a Cowboy, Terrence Williams, who is stopped short. What a tackle by Josh Wilson. Now the immediate question. This is a long field goal over 50 yards. Do you go?
I don't think you hesitate. I think you go for it. It is a two-score game, but you got to stay in the game. Excellent tackle by Josh Wilson, who's done so all day.
4th and 1. And Des Bryant's not even on the field. Cowboys go jumbo. And now a timeout as the Redskins did not have enough players on the field. Huge 4th down coming. When we come back, Redskins up by 9. Redskins called timeout. They only had 10 men on the line of scrimmage, and the Cowboys have 3 tight ends and an extra lineman in on 4th and 1.
Kevin, you want to go to the playoffs. These are the kind of plays you got to make.
And we get some movement. After all that, the Cowboys moved early.
False start. Number 68, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
It looked like Jason Garrett mouthed, go for it again. We'll see.
It's that right tackle dug free, and credit the Washington crowd. Loud as loud could be on that 4th down. Still not an excuse, and now the Redskins in a 4th and 6 situation.
What did Mike Shanahan say? You know it's the biggest game of the year when you play Dallas at home. And when you've got a team with 3 wins, it's your Super Bowl today. 4th and 6. Romo over the middle. He's got a 1st down. It's Cole Beasley. And the Cowboys convert big. Hall on the tackle, but Beasley picked up 20.
That's money by Tony Romo. He's hurting. Remember, limping badly prior to this snap. Finds the spot in the pocket, works himself up, locates Beasley. That's big-time football by Tony Romo. You can criticize him when criticism is due, but give him praise when praise is due. That's big-time football by Tony Romo. Tough effort playing through the injury.
I mean, the Cowboys need points somewhere or the other, and it's Murray around left side. And they're going to mark him out, looks like around 15.
You see that big 4th down play, and then go to the next play, the handoff, and Tony Romo can barely, again, get the ball to DeMarco Murray. He's hurting. You've got to applaud the toughness by Tony Romo. He knows his team needs this, and he's fighting through it.
It's a 2nd and 4. Murray's over 100 yards, 18 for 101. From the 14. Romo's got all kinds of time, but he can't run right now, and he just throws it away. And now a late flag back from the Redskins secondary.
That's in the area of holding on the defense or illegal contact.
Prior to the pass, holding. Defense number 26. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
It's on Josh Wilson, who's played a great 2nd half, but that gives Dallas a 1st.
Josh Wilson in the slot. Here he is working against Beasley. As the play extends, he's going to grab that right arm. Not a whole lot there, but that is indeed a hold.
Cowboys go 2 tight ends on your right. That was Miles Austin in motion. They'll give to DeMarco Murray, and Murray gets hit initially, but tries to drive forward. Josh Wilson on the initial stop. Murray's going to pick up a couple yards.
I tell you what, Josh Wilson, Kevin, he just had the holding penalty. He is not afraid to stick his body in there against bigger players. You saw him take on the fullback Klutz earlier, forcing the fumble. You see the play selection for the Dallas Cowboys starting to run the football more on this series. Not a coincidence that they're moving the ball effectively.
No doubt, John. It's a 2nd and goal for Dallas. Des Bryant at the bottom of your screen. They go trips left, and it's Romo. with time, checking down. Another great tackle by this Washington secondary. That time it was Merriweather.
That's an excellent play by Brandon Merriweather. Tony Romo tries to look Merriweather off. Looking to the left, can unload real quick, but boom, here comes Brandon Merriweather. That's closing on the football and finishing.
Cowboys hurrying it up. 14th play of the drive, 3rd and goal. Play clock at 4. Romo's got it going for Bryant, and it's a little high, in and out of the hands, incomplete. And I think you got to kick a field goal here.
It's the pressure in Romo's face by Barry Cofield that I believe makes that ball go high to Des Bryant. You're seeing Des, he had separation, but pressure right in his face. Watch Cofield right there, gonna get his hand up, forces the high throw. And here comes the field goal. 2-score game. This is the wise call right here.
Yeah, you got to get this one first. You want a shot. 25-yarder for Dan Bailey. And Bailey, boy, he almost pushed that one right, but he sneaks it through, and the Cowboys did what they had to do, get on the board to make it a 1-score game. Set for a good finish here in Landover. Cowboys now down by 6.
This game is sponsored by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer.
Aerial coverage provided today by Nationwide Insurance. It's been raining for half the day, and an enormous game for the Cowboys, who control their own playoff destiny. But if they lose today and the Eagles win tonight, the division's over and the Cowboys go home and the Eagles will go to the playoffs. So clearly it's a huge 6 minutes and change coming up for Dallas. As far as the playoff picture goes, Carolina over the Saints 10-6 in the 4th, and Carolina controls their destiny. If they win today and then win next week, they've got the division and probably the number 2 seed, John. So that's clearly enormous. New Orleans can clinch that home field bye in the division if they win today. And of course the Bears and Eagles tonight. So much on the line.
So much on the line for this defense. They need a stop. They need a stop now. 8 possessions the last 2 games, minus a kneel down. 8 scores for the Packers and Redskins offenses. Not a whole lot of stops.
On the play fake, Cousins and Garcon fell down. He wanted a trip, and there is no flag.
That's been their moneymaker. That matchup's been killing the Cowboys all day. Incidental contact, their feet get tangled up. Good no call.
Big day for Garcon into the Redskins record books, passing Art Monk for catches in a single season. It's Morris on the spin, and a short gain, if anything. We'll give him 1, and now a 3rd down and long.
The Cowboys have done their job on the first 2 downs. Bruce Carter with a nice tackle, putting the Redskins in a 3rd and long. Can they make the stop right here?
And now a 3rd and 9. You got a team that's 3-11, trying to play spoiler here. See how aggressive Kirk Cousins gets. Nick Williams in the game. He's number 13. Blitz coming. It's picked up. Cousins fires. Oh, it's Rick Robinson. What a throw and catch, and Washington has a first.
Kirk Cousins, impressive once again. Standing in the pocket, standing tall, delivers a strike. Sterling Moore, the cornerback, you got to have tighter coverage than that. 3rd and 9. You can't give the space. You got to challenge the wide receivers. Aldridge Robinson, first down.
Cousins had 2 interceptions on routes like that last week, and he told us, now that I paid the result, I've got to make sure to throw it in front of those guys just like that. And a first down as clock continues to run. 4:40 and counting. It's Morris. And Morris, not much there on the right side of that line. 2 timeouts for each team remaining. Redskins by 6 as RG3 looks on.
Kevin, it comes down to making plays when your number's called. That last third down, Sterling Moore, free agent, cornerback, up against Aldrick Robinson. Who's going to make the play? Sterling Moore wasn't anywhere close. These players have to step up. And here's that quad formation again for the Washington Redskins.
Garcon, top of your screen, matched up against Brandon Carr. Cousins looks to run it, and Ware drags him down across the 40. We've got a game break. Checking in with Joel Klatt.
Kevin, let's check in down with this big NFC South matchup. 11-play, 97-yard drive capped by Jimmy Graham. Saints have taken a 3-point lead. It's 13-10. Kevin, John, and Aaron.
Joel, Saints win. They clinch the division in a first-round bye, so that will be a finish. 6:37 left in that game.
And Kevin, if I'm Monty Kiffin right here, I don't think you can go zone coverage. Kirk Cousins too good going through a progression. I believe you got to challenge him. Your season's on the line. You got to challenge him, and I would put a double on Pierre Garcon. That's been the moneymaker for the Redskins. I double him, and I tell DeMarcus Ware, please get after Kirk Cousins.
American Idol looking for the next superstar. Join Jennifer Lopez, Keith Urban, Harry Connick Jr., Ryan Seacrest. American Idol's most exciting season. It begins Wednesday, January 15th on Fox. And now a big third down for this Cowboys defense. 4-man rush. Cousins unloads. Knocked away by Orlando Scandrick, and the Cowboys do their job.
Well, it wasn't the double, but it was a shift in coverage. Instead of Brandon Carr, Monty Kiffin puts Scandrick, who's had an outstanding game, and Scandrick says, let me have the number 1 more often. I'll make a play for you. That's what it takes. When the play's there to be made, make the play. Scandrick does it.
Now remember, Michael Spurlock, who's back to receive, returned an earlier punt 62 yards and a horrific punt by Sav Rocca. And Spurlock lets it roll. I can't believe he didn't go after that ball. Why didn't he go after that? There's no one there.
We've got rugby kicks, Aussie kicks. I don't know what you call that.
We've got an exciting finish. I know that. 3:39 to go. Redskins by 6. So now the Cowboys football. Down 6. 3:39 to go. And a timeout in their pocket to go along with a 2-minute warning. Aaron Andrews tells us Tony Romo did not get any treatment, so I guess that limp has gone away. Has time here and throwing far sideline, and the catch is made by Terrence Williams. And now we say no catch. Incomplete.
See the ball go through his arms, touch the ground. Good call by the back judge, Keith Ferguson.
I want to tell you, John, too, we went to break, looked at the replay. I should apologize to Michael Spurlock. He really had no play on that very weird kick by Sav Rocca. Maybe Rocca was trying to get it away from an oncoming defender.
Here we go. Clutch situation for Tony Romo. Can he deliver for the Dallas Cowboys?
Des Bryant, D'Angelo Hall match up on the bottom of your screen. Blitz up the middle. It's picked up. Romo's got all kinds of time. He's got a connection and a first down to Williams, the rookie.
Great job by Romo. Again, buying time. Great protection. Terrence Williams, a savvy player for a rookie, comes back to the football. The thing I would say here, Kevin, you've got 3 minutes and 21 seconds left. You do not have to abandon the run game. Continue to have that balance to keep this Redskins defense off balance.
And remember, Brian Arakpo is not back in the game after injuring that groin. The big pass rusher not in there. All kinds of time for Romo, who is looking for Bryant. Nice tip away by D'Angelo Hall. This game is huge in the playoff battle in the NFC East.
D'Angelo Hall, we saw the interception earlier today. He's been really good. Des Bryant only 3 catches. D'Angelo Hall, a big reason why.
Again, reminder, Cowboys control their own playoff destiny, but if they lose, the Eagles can wrap up the division with a win tonight. There are the standings currently. Dallas won the first matchup with Philly. Josh Wilson. It's a 51-yard gain.
And it's been Romo's ability to extend plays, eyes downfield. I talked about the savvy for Terrence Williams, only a rookie. The attention to detail, knowing if Romo's extending the play, get yourself upfield. Romo finds him. Good hustle by Josh Wilson to get him down.
Now Dallas down 6 at the 21.
Plenty of time with 2:20 left on the clock.
Quick hitter to Bryant against Hall. And Bryant sprinting inside, still on his feet. Dez Bryant, first and goal, Dallas.
This is the same play. The controversial one last week. Romo sees the loaded box. A run play's called. Instead, he runs the smoke to Dez Bryant. It works out for him right there. One-on-one. D'Angelo Hall's been fantastic. Dez Bryant gets the better of that matchup.
You know, it's not going to matter if they don't win, John, but Tony Romo's been pretty fantastic today, too. 16 of 26, 216 yards at the one bad pick, the terrific touchdown. That's not going to matter, though. They don't win this game.
Showing a lot of toughness, too, playing through that injury.
We got a timeout on the field. That's on Washington. And so each team now with one timeout. Think about this if you're Romo. You have to be thinking back to last year, week 17 here in D.C. The winner would go to the playoffs. Cowboys were down 3. They had the ball with about 3.5 minutes. And on the second play of their possession, this occurred.
And this was a blitz that London Fletcher told us Jim Haslett dialed up for that week. They had never seen it at the Dallas Cowboys because Haslett had never run it. It was a productive one for Haslett and the Redskins. Got 2 picks out of that same blitz and 3 sacks. Can Romo change the fortunes this time around? And Kevin, I think a long way towards that. You're in the red zone now. Use DeMarco Murray. Use that balance. Then if you get that one-on-one with Dez Bryant, go ahead and use it, but do not go away from the run in the most critical of moments.
I mean, it's got to feel similar. Yeah, this is week 16, not quite the same, but with the playoff destiny on the line, monumental couple of plays here. 2:16 left. It's a first and goal. Dez Bryant, bottom of your screen. They are going to run it to Murray, and Murray is going to be just shy. Second and goal from inside the 1. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Redskins up by 6, but the Cowboys on the doorstep. We come back. 108th meeting to this storied rivalry. Cowboys, Redskins. DeMarco Murray just hit 20 carries, but the next foot is the one that matters. Murray does not get in. Redskins stack it up. Kedrick Golston was the guy who got there first, but a host of others, and now Cowboys will have another chance. And a timeout on the field. Did not see which team called it. It was the Redskins, so they're out of timeouts. Trying to save clock, John, if the Cowboys do get in.
And Kevin, if indeed they do get in, this could be the best thing that happened to the Cowboys not getting in there, because with this defense, you don't have a whole lot of trust that they can stop Kirk Cousins. Now the challenge is getting it in if you're DeMarco Murray and this Dallas Cowboys offense.
The irony of this is all the talk about running, which we've been talking about all game long. And now do you run it again after getting stopped on a second and a footer trying to pass?
I think you got to run it. I'd run it right behind that center, Travis Frederick. He's been outstanding all year. Tyron Smith, that left side of the offensive line.
Here we go. 3rd and goal. Murray trying to stretch it out. He's going backwards, and he is buried for a huge loss. Perry Riley blew it up. And now a late flag. There's a helmet off. If Riley took his helmet off, that's a penalty. Let's see. It's a huge play.
It's Chris Baker, 92, who's got his helmet off.
Now, difference if it came off or if he physically took it off.
There is no foul for removing the helmet.
Oh, great call.
You see it right there. Chris Baker's helmet just fell off. If you're DeMarco Murray, you've got to just understand you're not getting in. Do not take a bigger loss. Instead, he runs backwards. And now it's 4th down on the 12-yard line. And the Cowboys season on the line.
And a 2nd and goal at the foot line. And now a 4th and season for Dallas. At least it could be, depending on what the Eagles do tonight.
You're the Cowboys now. You got to move on. I got to believe your best chance is Des Bryant one-on-one. His ability to go up and get the ball, just give him a chance. Not a whole lot of plays in the playbook for this situation. The Redskins will defend the goal line. That's your guy right there. Des Bryant, if not him, Jason Witten. But I would be looking at Des Bryant. The only problem is the Redskins know that as well.
Jim Haslett, as the Cowboys have called their final timeout right here. And so each team without a timeout left, but it comes down to this play for Dallas. A 4th and goal from the 10 after Murray went backwards.
You go back 2 plays and watch London Fletcher selling out in his 16th year, going over the top. That was the 2nd down play. Here's the 3rd down play. They try to get sideways. The initial surge, D'Angelo Hall all over DeMarco Murray. Murray goes backwards. It creates the 4th and goal from the 12.
Jason Garrett, what play does he call here? Could be for his job. Fourth and goal. Time for Romo. Steps up, throws. Murray, he's in! Touchdown! We are tied.
Now tempers are flaring down on the field. There's a scrum going on. Getting ugly down there, but what a play by Tony Romo. And if you're the Cowboys, you've got to keep your poise. The extra point will win it. You can't be getting silly penalties here.
Hey, I don't know who this flag's going to be on, John, but if it's on Dallas, think what that does to the kickoff here.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody needs to get to the sidelines. If you're the Cowboys, the Redskins, obviously in disbelief, but what a play by Tony Romo, extending the play once again in the pocket. The chances of making this play are slim and none, but Tony Romo works the pocket, slides, eyes downfield, double pumps, finds Murray. Murray does the rest. Tony Romo's had a fantastic day, minus the one bad throw. And when it mattered most, Tony Romo delivered.
For a guy that clearly has had a lower body injury of some sort today, he's bought all kinds of time with his feet. But now, here's the deal. Still tied. The extra point is big, and this penalty call is enormous.
There are fouls on both teams. Personal foul, number 31, Washington. Personal foul, number 28, defense. Those fouls offset. We'll do the try.
For those of you who saw the Bengals take down the Vikings today, here the Cowboys on a 4th and goal come through with Romo to DeMarco Murray, and now an extra point away from taking the lead. This is so big. The Cowboys controlling their playoff destiny. If they can win today and next week, they're in. And they were down 9 points in this second half. But first, you got to get this one through to Dan Bailey. And Bailey just gets it through. My goodness. But he did get it through, and the Cowboys in front with 1:08 to go. No timeouts left for Washington, but they will have a chance.
Kevin, one more time on this 4th down conversion, because it was magnificent by Tony Romo. There's a pump fake at the end that holds the linebacker, Perry Riley. Riley's going to be right there, and watch as he escapes the pocket. He's going to pump to the back of the end zone. That holds Riley for a second, gives him the space with DeMarco Murray. Fantastic by Tony Romo. And Jason Garrett knows his defense isn't the best, and he's holding the celebration. Des Bryant, he likes winning as well. And what a play by Tony Romo. DeMarco Murray, resiliency when it looked like here we go again. They did something about it, and they got that man number 9 to thank for it.
You know, there's been a lot of discussion here today with us about Romo 4th quarter with big picks. He's also been great coming from behind. This would be his 20th comeback victory in the 4th quarter. He had 5 of them last year. This could be number 3 this year, but still so much time left. And all while hurt. Now Nick Williams has a chance to return it. There's a flag on the play as Williams breaks to the outside and is tackled at the 23. And let's see what the penalty is. So now Kirk Cousins.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 39 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down, Washington.
John, what we were talking about Romo, especially coming off the 23 blown lead last week, is this. Under 5 minutes left, close games. He had not fared well in December since 08. But coming from behind, he's been terrific.
Well, the only way to change the perception is to change the reality. He just went a long way towards doing that. Kudos to Tony Romo. Now you got to stop the Redskins.
No timeouts left, but they only need a field goal. Keep that in mind. Cousins on a 4-man rush to Halou, trying to get out of bounds, and he does in a short game. With 56 seconds to go. Redskins have a kicker in Kai Forbath, who's been erratic in his career long, is only 50 yards, so they've got a decent way to go.
You think about that last drive. Tony Romo, when it mattered most, 4 of 6, 93 yards, the touchdown on the 4th down. Incredible football. Now we'll see if Kirk Cousins can do the magic for the Redskins.
4-man rush. Cousins for Robinson, incomplete. Sterling Moore was on the coverage, 3rd down.
There was a miscommunication in the Dallas defense that left nobody in the middle of the field. No free safety, and it wasn't a blitz. That was a miscommunication, and the Cowboys are fortunate to have gotten by right there.
What about Cousins in his first home start? Replacing Robert Griffin III. Needs to pull some magic out of the hat here. 3rd and 6. Going far side for no one. Garcon over there, not even close, and now a 4th down with the game on the line.
Tony Romo produced when it was looking really bad for the Dallas Cowboys. Can Kirk Cousins now do it? And I'll tell you, if I'm Monty Kiffin, Jason Garrett, I put Skandrick on Garcon. Again, Carr's been worn out all day by him. Skandrick's had a fantastic game. I'd make that adjustment, and I'd give him some help.
Got to hurry up here. Play clock at 8. They've got no timeouts left.
There it is. Skandrick on Garcon.
Play clock at 2. Cousins going to air it out for no one. Looking for Moss. Incomplete. Cowboys will win this thing. And so for the team that blew a 23-point lead last week, overcoming a 9-point deficit and facing a 4th and goal, what a win this is for Dallas and Jason Garrett and Tony Romo. And now the Eagles play tonight against the Bears. Doesn't matter. That game really means nothing because next week Philly in Dallas for the NFC East title and the right to go to the playoffs. And for the 3rd year in a row, incredibly, Dallas would play final week against an NFC East opponent for a chance to either win the division or to go home. It's just unbelievable.
Well, Kevin, Tony Romo, that man under center right there, he stepped up when his team needed it most. Outstanding performance by Tony Romo.
Cowboys went back to the run late. Tony Romo was terrific. And what a win for the Cowboys. They knock off their rivals, the Redskins, 24-23. We've got a big finish in Carolina. The Panthers and Saints. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Pam Oliver. Let's head to Carolina for bonus coverage on Fox. Cowboys win it here.